Mangroves. To me, they are fascinating. They stretch for kilometres along our estuaries and have a critical place in the ecosystem which surrounds them. But yet, I think they're underrated. They truly do harbour an abundance of life, and my goal on this adventure is to try and showcase just a glimpse of what these areas have to offer. This morning, we are on a 2-hour journey from home to the mangrove capital of Victoria. This area has kilometres on kilometres of pristine mangrove coastline, and this is where I'm going to begin my search. When arriving to the location, I was instantly greeted with a bridge, and go figure, it was completely surrounded by mangroves. So straight away, I decided to pull over and go for a fish around this bridge. Walking down to our first location, it was very quiet. Such a still, peaceful morning, but yet no fish. We even walked onto the bridge and tried fishing some heavy structure along the pylons. So after that quick detour, we continued to the spot I initially had in mind. Sometimes I really think that these random spontaneous adventures aren't just for the fish. When we arrived, we were greeted by one of the most beautiful mornings that I've ever seen. Not a breath of wind, dead silence, and a pristine area. My day had already been made, and we hadn't even caught a fish yet. With an itch to get fishing, I set up my kayak and was starting to wheel it down to the water when someone pulled up, and they just happened to be a local legend. He has caught more estuary perch, more estuary species than you could ever imagine. So the plans quickly changed, and I just set out to have a day fishing with him. We made our way upstream, and it didn't take long for Brett to find fish. There's a reason this guy has caught near 20,000 estuary perch, and his skills were on full display. I'm pretty certain he ended up with 9 or 10 fish. Meanwhile, I struggled to catch one.
Come here, darling. Oh, you beautiful thing. How's that for skinny? Yeah. It's a skinny beast. Nice one.
Good fish.
I never get sick of them now.
No.
Never get sick of them.
But with a little tiny swim bait, I cast my lure exactly where Brett had just pulled a fish, and bang, I got my only fish for the whole day.
What happens is I'll say that, hey Nev, how many perch you get? And you go, oh. Swim bait?
Yeah. The experience of fishing with someone who uses so many different techniques, so many different lures, really got me thinking. So after an amazing day's fishing with a legend, I headed back in and really got thinking on how I could do something different to fish these areas. So now we have a completely new plan. After running into Brett the other day and just learning and fishing with him, I saw how much he thinks outside the box. He actually makes his own lures, his own hard bodies, his own surface lures, his own blades, and he's a really successful fisherman. So it got me thinking. I was trying to think of what I can do to try and stand out and just throw something which these fish have never ever seen before. So I think I've came up with something. I actually got sent these lures sometime last year and they worked really well, but I'm going to be fishing them today a completely new method. So what we're going to be doing with these tiny little squids is actually fishing them unweighted. So obviously we're fishing the mangroves, and the mangroves typically lead out into an inlet or an estuary. So my theory is that these areas are perfect for harbouring tiny little squid. And what do these tiny little squid do? They simply drift along the mangroves, slowly go up and down. So my plan is to do that exact same thing. Do the most realistic imitation possible, have an almost unweighted squid, and just lightly twitch that out in front of the mangroves. I think it's going to be a good theory. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but if it does, it'll be extremely cool. This is going to be my first session doing it. We actually don't have very long because the tide is dropping at the moment. Let's see what we can catch. This is going to be a lot of fun. Man, just look at this.
walls and walls of mangroves. So we've made the drive back to the area where we were last time. We are now equipped with our tiny little unweighted squids. That looks so realistic. It's got the red eyes as well, so I'm very confident that we'll catch fish when we find them, but that's going to be the big challenge. Last time we were here, as you know, it was fairly quiet, so I'm hoping that today we'll be able to locate some fish. We might have to do a few trips, but let's get a few casts out right along these mangrove walls as we're talking about, and all we're going to do is slowly twitch them back to the kayak. Ooh, toady followed it in. Let's get out of this wind. This is a bit of a protected cove here, so give that a go. Come on, squid, you've got to do something. You look too good not to get eaten. I like to look at this little area here, out of the wind a little bit, nice and protected. It looks pretty deep along there too, so give that a go. Let's get a cast up there. We got a fish. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, got off. Oh my God. What? Right in that protected cove. You see that? He went right in there too. How nuts was that? Right up in there. Oh, that was another hit. That was there we go, another hit. Another hit. Oh my God. Oh, they pulled it off the thing. Look at that. We just had hit after hit and hit after hit. You can't even get a better sign than that. We've had 2 casts in that area. Both of them had fish on straight away, like instantly. Let's get another cast. Up in there. A few shadows. There we go. What is that? Oh no. He's gone in the mangroves. Whatever it is has gone in the mangroves. We just got him out. These fish keep swimming back into the mangroves. That's on the little squid. We were just twitching that right along a little shadow there. He just came up and boofed it. Good perch too. Very good perch. Wow, the squid lure works. Oh, what an awesome fish too. Well, it's fair to say we had a theory these little subsurface, pretty much surface squid lures would work. And that is probably 10-15 minutes into the session. I'm so happy with that result. What an awesome looking fish. Look at that squid lure and the fish's gob too. He has just engulfed that. And my lead is destroyed, so I'm gonna have to retire. See you, buddy. How cool was that? That didn't take long either, so there could be some more in that area. How cool is it fishing in these mangrove areas? These mangrove environments just harbour so many fish. Like when you look at these areas, they look very basic, but when you go in fine detail, like we've looked at underwater footage of all the weed beds, all the life, which is just swimming right along these mangroves, and no wonder there's some nice big predatory fish here. Let's try that again. Get that lure straight back into that same area. As I said, if there's one perch around, most definitely can be more. See if it's a fluke or not. Honestly, you can probably see these things come out and eat it if you look close enough. Tiny little twitches. Twitch. Pause. The sink is the key. Another one. Whoa. Wow, they go straight back for the mangroves. It's a good one too. We got weed the next cast, and the cast after that, we are straight back onto another big fish. We'll see what he is, but man, it feels like a real good one. Man, these are quality fish too. Oh, these fellas aren't small either. Man, they go so hard in this shallow water. The mangroves are just full of life. He's a short, fat one. But once again, squid lure's been engulfed. Beautiful little fish yet again. Don't want to leave him out of the water for too long. Send him off. Another cast in there. Who knows, there could be more. I think there's a big weed bed over there I can see. Just going to let that drift down into the weed bed. Another one. Oh God. Whoa. Man, he's gone right in there again. They just go straight back to where they came from. He feels big. I'm only using 4-pound leader, so I'm playing a really, really risky game in these light mangroves with light line. There we go. Man, that's another big fish. This is insane. Another big estuary perch. This is just a nuts little bite. Once again, he's engulfed that squid. This is going off. Almost no one uses like unweighted lures and little squid lures like this in the mangroves. And I think we're onto something here. This is an area which holds a lot of squid at times, and obviously they'd be feeding on these little squid when they can. And these things would for sure take advantage of that. So I really think we're onto something here.
Over the next 2 hours, this turned into one of the best fishing sessions I've ever had.
Really good one. Oh no. Another one. Feels big. And he's a big boy.
Cast after cast, the squid lures were getting absolutely engulfed along the mangrove walls. Almost instantly too, the lure would hit the water and then bang, on.
There we go. We knew it.
This was telling me that the fish were literally hiding in these mangroves and using them as cover for foraging and quite possibly breeding.
There we go.
After 40 perch in less than 2 hours, we left the fish biting. We had had more than enough fun and really dialed in and confirmed this new method. After a few more sessions using these lures, I actually got in contact with the owner of these squid lures, Redemption Tackle, and we've actually got a code made up, NEV10. So if you use this code in the checkout, you'll get 10% off these lures, and you'll also help support the channel and my videos. I will never recommend a product to you guys that I don't believe in, but these squid lures are truly epic. Go check them out. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and you can go out there and try this new technique for yourselves. It's really been working for me recently, and hopefully it'll work for you also. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.